Hello, I'm Michael from Michael the Gathering. This is Best of One, the best format in Magic, and I'm here to answer the question, why do you keep dying to Invoke Despair? But before you skip ahead, leave a comment down below about what cards, what decks have been plaguing you on ladder. We'll build them, we'll inspect them, we'll figure out how they tick, how they work, and how to beat them in best standard, the only format that matters. Let's take a look. Invoke Despair is a weird card in a vacuum. On the one hand, 6 face damage and draw 3 cards doesn't really fit in an all-black deck, and on the other hand, 5 mana for your opponent to sacrifice 3 permanents is also really not a great control tool. The secret to Invoke Despair's success is its power as an option select. For those of you who haven't heard this piece of fighting game jargon, an option select is where you do 2 things at the same time and only the best version of those 2 things comes out at once. In fighting games, you input something like a defensive technique or a counterattack, and it only resolves, to switch back to Magic terms, if your opponent does something about the initial attack. This gives you flexibility in a practiced, repeatable form. And in Magic, an option select is when a card does 2 things and we get the best one based on our opponent's board state or game actions. Grixis Midrange is the premier option select deck in best standard right now. Every control tool is an aggro tool, is a stabilization tool, is a removal tool, is a card advantage tool. And it doesn't start with Invoke Despair. It finishes with Invoke Despair. It starts with Bloodtithe Harvester. Another card that can be a real underperformer if you don't know how to work it. Bloodtithe Harvester is a piece of removal. It is not an aggressive creature, unless our opponent doesn't give us a target to use the removal on, in which case, it's a 3/2 attacker for 2 mana that's not getting blocked. Fable of the Mirror Breaker is a body, is treasure generation, is card draw, is another body, and then is additional copied bodies on top of that. And for some reason, professionals slept on it when it was released. Reckoner Bankbuster is a card-drawing Mazemind tome that comes with a 4/4 body instead of gaining yourself 4 life and exiling itself. Sheoldred is not a finisher. Sheoldred is a life gain tool that happens to be a finisher if it doesn't get removed. Option select. And of course, Invoke Despair is the big, dumb sorcery that says to your opponent, you know, whatever you were using to stabilize, it's gone now. And so is everything else that was supporting it. And if you hadn't played those stabilization tools yet, guess what? I just drew more removal and probably another Invoke Despair to hit you again with. How many times can you do this? Because I bet it's not more than twice. Okay. Enough about how great Grixis Midrange is. I promised you tips on how to beat it, so let's talk through some of the basic requirements and weaknesses. Number 1. You need to have a game plan that can play through removal. You can accomplish this by having threats that don't die to cut down, don't die to low damage spells like Abrade, recur themselves, or have additional value. Or you can be a monster who plays a control deck, counters every spell 1 for 1 until you play a Hullbreaker Horror, and then grinds your opponent's bones to make your bread. Essentially, when you're playing against an option select deck like Grixis Midrange, the trick is to have a solid enough game plan that you can pick the same option repeatedly and still come out winning on top. That's why this deck struggles against low to the ground mono-red burn. It's why it struggles against solid 3-drop creature decks like white-blue soldiers. This deck can even die to a single Hortigin sufficiently protected, or if you prefer, a storm of 1 mana 5/5 ward creatures that were printed at common for some godforsaken reason. My build of Grixis Midrange doesn't run a board clear. That's its primary weakness, and it's something that I, as a pilot, play around. Ultimately, the games I lose are the ones where my opponents force me to have just the right removal, just the right top deck, and I just don't quite get there. Sometimes I'm gonna do that. That's the nature of this deck. It's the nature of mid-range control, any option select strategy. Sometimes you're going to top deck the Invoke Despair, the Sheoldred. Remember, as an aggro player, that you're playing the percentages. There's 1 million people on ladder, and you've got a 60% win rate. I'm not going to have the removal piece every time, but that's only going to matter if you make it matter with your game plan. Let's crush some souls. We should be able to draw some blue. Thalia. Yeah. We're just gonna hold on to this for that. Yeah. No. Nope. Absolutely not. And that is why you do not toss away your removal. That's unfortunate. We did not draw blue. And now we pray that they don't have prison effect. Oh well. Cool. Okay. Possible outs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need to end this turn with fewer than 5 bodies getting past. And also... okay. So, if we go Corpse Appraiser, we can get rid of the pump. And then we can get Abrade. And we can... we save the Abrade for combat when they cannot... yeah. That's fine. Because now we definitely get Sheoldred as a... oh, let's block these. Oh, thank God. And now we gain 1,000,000 life. 2 life. Oh my goodness. There we go. Cool. Okay. Cool. Okay. Cool. There's no universe where we lose now that they've exhausted their hand and we have 2 Invoke Despairs in hand. Cool, cool, cool. I assume they have stuff in the graveyard? Of course they do. Cool. That goes. Thank you. Now, we could go Abrade, but we're going to go Fable just because it's ever so slightly more mana efficient. And obviously, when we're grinding our opponent into the dust, we want to be mana efficient. Cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can go land, Abrade, Invoke Despair. So we're going to go land. We're going to Abrade, not the target that you think I'm going to Abrade. And then we're going to do this, and we're going to say good game. There it is. Truly a disgusting level of stabilization. Can't complain about this hand. Oh, interesting. I'm gonna play this before I get greedy with it. It's not even about saving myself the 1 point of life. Humans! I just had to double check that I wasn't locking myself out of playing another Harvester. So it's not often that we get to play an aggressive line with this deck, but double Bloodtithe Harvester into with a cut down is pretty good when they were expecting to get some life gain off of Dennick. I'm interested to see where they go with this, because Lagrella would not be crazy. Brutal is similarly not ideal. So, for 4 mana, we can... Let's see... They won't trade, will they? Surely not. No, of course not. I think we Fable and we just save the removal for later. That's why you save removal for later. That's not... I frequently find myself playing against decks where I'm like, why though? We're going to attack with both, see if they trade. And then we Corpse Appraiser. This is a deck where Brutal Cathar is a very strange choice, because you're playing black. So you could just be playing hard removal. And they're choosing not to. They're choosing to play Brutal Cathar, which is a body in the sense that it theoretically provides attacking stats, but realistically it's a weakness of the card, is that it can be removed by creature removal. You know, it's not exactly providing... not exactly providing removal here. Okay. So this does -2/-2. So, we're going to remove the Cathar, so that we get the double from here, and then we win the game. Oh, the treasure would have given us cut down anyway. Now imagine if that Brutal Cathar had been any, like, murder. It's 3 mana. It was a removal spell that gave me my creature back. You know, it could have been Soul Petition, and that would have been more meaningful, I think. Oh, this is great. This is great. These games have been a great example of how important it is to have that aggressive game plan to start. So we're not gonna cut down immediately. because we want to give them the chance to be greedy. We want to give them the chance to, like, Reckless Impulse. Wow! We are fighting for our lives. Okay, we are doomed. Ooh, we have to get some really solid draws to outpace this start if it's even moderately well built. That's not an inclusion that I would consider super well built, but I'll take it. Let's put a blocker in away, and we get a card. So, obviously it's not this. I'm choosing between these two. And so I think that this is ultimately useless to us, because next turn we have to hit a good card. So we're going to optimize our chances by going this, which means that next turn we either draw an untapped land, which this is not, and we play Sheoldred, or we draw nothing, or we draw a tapped land and we at least spend all 3 mana. What did they discard? Double Mountain. I mean, that's a compelling argument for Mirror Breaker. Interesting. Do they have an impulse? They don't. Huh. Cool. We have a chance. Which is not something that I would have said 2 turns ago. Another mountain. Whoa! Okay, so we can definitely draw 1 card this turn. I think that our best line, rather than going Bankbuster into draw a card, which would spend all 4 of our mana, is we go Harvester, and then we Blood Token, and we try and draw Cut Down. And we'll get rid of a Bankbuster because we don't need it. And we'll just play another Harvester. It hadn't even occurred to me that I could draw another land for the turn. I believe this is what experts would refer to as stabilizing. That's an interesting choice. I will block that. That is unfortunate. So we're going to just Invoke Despair you. And draw hopefully 2 cards, if you know how Invoke Despair works. Otherwise, 1 card. This is a situation. Yeah, I don't see a line for any version of the mono red deck out of this. So going AFK seems to be the answer. Smash cut to concede. Oh no, they know how the card works. Interesting choice. Yeah, I don't have to attack. Okay, they're not conceding. They think that they have a line. I mean, that's... They can double activate Bloodthirsty Adversary to get 1 card. This is why you don't play Fable of the Mirror Breaker in this deck. Because Bloodthirsty Adversary can't get it back. It's just... I'm sorry, you... Somebody cut in the "I'm not gonna sugarcoat it" meme. Mono red decks. For aggro, you gotta be playing less than 24 lands. Like, I beat this deck because they drew mountains like four times? Three or four times in a row. And they've ended the game with 7 mountains and 2 treasures, and they've got nothing to do with it. If those mountains had been gassed, I might have died before Sheoldred came down, but they played non-instants and sorceries, they played too many mountains, and the mid-range deck just stabilized. And then basically turned around and said, I don't have to attack you because I have Sheoldred, one of the best cards in Standard right now. Oh, perfect. What are we doing? What are we doing? Multi 5. You hate to see it. Red, blue. Dragonspark Reactor. What? That's not a card. Oh, we're doing spicy things. Interesting. Okay. We're gonna race then. Let's race. So what did you keep? Oh, okay. Hanada deck? Is this a Hanada deck post Magma Opus rotation? Lightning Strike. Cool. You're gonna be real mad in a second. Oh, I don't have the treasure. Abrade? No, not yet. I thought I was going to turn for Invoke Despair there, theming. I'm sorry, what? Okay. You know, I am a fan of treasure spam into Dragonspark Reactor triggers. I have to say, I like it. It is a tad slow. There's a deck here. You know? There's a deck here. It's not this one. Now I want to build that. You're just making me want to build Widespread Thieving again. Not an ideal right side, but left is fine. I hope they have the deck to match their sleeves, because those are some nice sleeves. Oh, they have the pet for it too? No, they're playing soldiers. Let's make sure that we play the card that lets us play the card. Cool. Then we're going to, on next turn, we're going to activate the Harvester. What? What? You think you can get away with doing flash speed shenanigans against... Are you gonna trade both of your creatures, or are you chump blocking? You're trading your... No, this is incorrect. If you're gonna do this... If you're gonna do that, what you're supposed to do is play the Resolute Reinforcements and block with just the card. That was an interesting set of three. I don't think... We don't need the Bankbuster. We've got plenty of cards. The Grasp was potentially the right choice, because we could go No One Left Behind into Grasp next turn. Which we should have done. But our opponent is determined to demonstrate their willingness to make questionable trades, so we will offer them one. Let's go No One Left Behind, a Harvester into Harvester. And yes, I will trade a Bankbuster for a Siege Veteran. I shouldn't need to, though. Cool. Okay. Offer the trade? You're not gonna offer the trade. Now, I want to see what you do when I do this. That is not the choice I expected you to make. Interesting. Okay. So this will make Siege Veteran a 7/7, which we will still manage to trade with. They're not even doing that. Just attacking. I think we take the 4. Yeah. Not worth trading for a token specifically. I think we need to remove the Siege Veteran before it gets any more out of hand. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is enough for a Sheoldred. Now we can draw a card, or we could No One Left Behind for a Harvester, which is what we're going to do. And then we're going to pass the turn. A reminder that these 4 blood tokens are from 1 copy of Bloodtithe Harvester. Okay. So, what do we feel like? We need to make some creatures. We want to remove some creatures. Let's do this. And then we're going to have 2, potentially 3 mana. So if we remove... Dennick is obviously something we need to remove. But if we remove Thalia, we can then play the Fable, which would be very nice. Obviously a 2/2 is not a super big deal. But it is a body. And while we have Sheoldred on the board, that is all we need. I mean... okay, so of note, as long as Dennick is on the board, our Corpse Appraisers do nothing. So, unless we feel like removing Dennick, which I mean we do... I think that we... What do you reckon? Abrade that... Remove Dennick? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, let's do that. Abrade Thalia. Remove Dennick. Remove Dennick again. I only have 1 untapped land. So... Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to cast this. But I mean... Who's counting? Again, this is just... The game's over. Cool. Yeah, there we go. They've just got absolutely no lines to victory. Michael? Michael, this hand has 2 lands in it. Don't keep this hand, Michael. Michael? Your opponent's going first. Oh wait, that means we're on the draw. Don't do this. Never punished! I shouldn't say that. We don't have any blue yet. Luckily, we don't need any. But we may yet be punished. I retract my statement about we may yet be punished. On the topic of greedy choices, I could have played Takenuma there. And I didn't. Cool. Yeah, so we're basically just going to immediately kill this. Yeah, we're just going to take the 5. Yeah, we're going to play Bloodtithe Harvester to get another blood token. We're going to use that second blood token to increase the -4. We're going to kill that. And then we're going to pass the turn. Cool. Cool. My god. Okay, so that is now a 3/3. Guess we just take that. That's unfortunate. So we can blood, and that forces us next turn to no one left behind back a Bloodtithe Harvester to put us back to 2 blood to remove Generous Visitor. Or we blood, we remove the Weaver of Harmony. And then we play Fable. I think we... No. Any of our lines, we're blooding away the Bankbuster. Okay. So. We have sorcery speed removal, instant speed removal. So, step 1, we get our Bloodtithe Harvester back. Now, we are going to remove anything with that. So we don't have this, they don't have this to copy. Let's remove that. Pass the turn. Oh, this deck is so fast. So... Flying Lifelink. Oh, I hate this treatment. I can't read it. Cool. Okay. Okay. So, we get an ideal trade here, where we do this. Oh! A stunning amount of Never Punished. Oh! You can't Bloodtithe Harvester that. Interesting. And we're gonna go Fable. We're not gonna attack, because they still have prison enchantments. So, have we stabilized? Probably not. That needs to go. What does No One Left Behind get us? It just gets us Bloodtithe Harvester. We already have that. I guess we get rid of it? Because what we need is we need to draw into... We need to draw into Invoke Despair. Let's see if they let us trade. They probably won't. No. Let's blood away the land we can't use. We'll keep the Harvester so that we can Fable it. God, yes. Yes! Oh, I cannot believe you would ever do that against a black control deck. Just the biggest oof. Just an absolutely colossal oof. Unbelievable. Attacking there is not a terrible idea. I probably should have to get the treasure, but I'm being paranoid. Oh. Every day I play against decks that make no sense. Oh. Oh. That Queen Alanal could have been anything, and if it had been an enchantment creature, they would have gotten Kami of Transcendence back. There is a reason the cards are played. I'm gonna do the next one as well. Because, yeah, I am that greedy. I'm gonna attack. I'm gonna pass. And we have 4 mana. We can kill 2 things. And my opponent is now top decking. And I... What are you gonna prison? What are you gonna prison? You're gonna prison the Bloodtithe Harvester. That is... just a terrible decision. Let's use the treasure to make the red so we don't spend a life. Let's get rid of that one. Oh, wow. So I'm going to take the land here instead of the removal because I want to hold up mana to cycle away this Xander's Lounge, which I would have had from the treasure anyway. Circle of Confinement. I actually love the Dracula treatments. See, now they're getting it. Now they get it. I love the Dracula treatments. I just hate that I can't read this tiny text down here. My turn. I'm going to cycle this. Yeah, there it is. There she is. How many enchantments do you need to get flying? 7. That's not an enchantment. Spirits you control. Oh, that's a spirit. Cool. I mean... I'm just going to offer a trade. That's unfortunate for you. So my opponent's out in this situation was keep the spirit, take the 2. They needed to draw into a... Oh, then no. Because I was going to say they needed to draw into a series of, like, Spirited Companions. But even that wouldn't have been enough. Cool, so they have to chunk block or die. And now they can't draw any cards. I do like the ordering of Hallowed Haunting. That means that you can pump that. But unfortunately you have no way of giving it haste. So here we are. That's just it. That's just it.